A flash of fury, a moment frozen in time, an act that would ignite a firestorm no one saw coming. Tensions ran high, but no one expected this. The consequences would shatter everything. How does a single act of hate set off a chain of events that no one could have predicted? Behind the faceless anger, an untold story begins to unfold, one that will force you to question everything. Stay with me, because this is far from over. A remote stretch of highway, the hum of motorcycles cutting through the quiet landscape, Blackthorn, a place where roads seem endless, and the lives that pass through them, unknown. A small town with big secrets. It was here, on this quiet rural road, that a group of bikers made their move. Their target? A black man alone, just another face on the road. Or so they thought. What they didn't realize, what they couldn't have known, is that this man wasn't just any bystander. He was someone who had commanded armies, held power in the highest circles, and on this day, his past was about to collide with their future in ways no one could have predicted. As the story takes shape, let us know where you're watching from. Your voice matters, and we want to hear from you. Share your city, your country, or even just your corner of the world. Kindly subscribe, like, share. On the surface, Andre was like many others, just an ordinary man, making his way home after a long day. His modest clothing, the worn-out backpack slung over his shoulder, gave no hint of the life he had led or the experiences that had shaped him into who he was. He wasn't looking for trouble. He just wanted to get home. But as he cruised down that lonely stretch of highway, the sound of engines grew louder, growing from a distant rumble to a threatening roar. A group of bikers, their helmets hiding their faces, had spotted him, and for reasons unknown, they had decided he was their target. The first biker pulled up beside him, his engine growling aggressively. The others quickly followed suit, surrounding him in a tight circle. The air grew thick with tension. Their voices rang out, laced with venom, calling him names, shouting slurs, blocking every escape. It felt like the walls were closing in, each word an assault on his dignity, his existence. Yet, Andre didn't flinch. He didn't raise his voice. His posture remained steady, his expression calm, like a man who had learned to weather storms, no matter how fierce. "I don't want any trouble," he said, his voice measured, though his heart raced. His eyes scanned the group, trying to gauge their next move, his body ready for anything. But instead of reacting in anger, he tried something unexpected. He remained composed, his words almost soothing, trying to diffuse the situation, to remind them that violence wasn't the answer. The bikers, fueled by hate and aggression, didn't listen. They circled closer, jeering, mocking him, and testing his resolve. But it was clear. Andre was no stranger to moments like this. He had faced challenges, faced down enemies with far more power than these men could ever wield. He knew how to stay calm in the face of adversity. The confrontation wasn't just about the words thrown at him. It was a clash of worlds, one side looking for a fight, the other, a man who had seen enough battles in his lifetime to know when not to engage. The scene may have felt like something out of a movie, but unfortunately, racially motivated attacks, though often buried under the weight of silence, are disturbingly frequent in today's world. According to the racism, hate crimes against minorities have surged by 51.5% over the past few years, an alarming rise that reflects a deeply ingrained problem still festering in the shadows of society. These are not isolated incidents. From public spaces to quiet roads, from city streets to rural highways, people of color often find themselves targets of violence simply because of the color of their skin. The statistics tell a grim story. Racial profiling, slurs, and physical confrontations are becoming an all-too-common reality for many. This incident, this confrontation on the road, is not just an isolated event. It is part of a broader, chilling pattern of discrimination that continues to haunt communities across the nation. While the details of each story differ, the undercurrent remains the same. The violent, hateful impulse that sees some people as less than others. What happened on that highway is a painful reminder of the inequality many still face. And for Andre, it was more than just a personal attack. It was a reflection of a deeper societal issue that remains unresolved. The situation continued to intensify. The bikers, sensing a weakness, began to close in, their jeers growing louder, their gestures more threatening. The leader of the group, his eyes burning with anger, shouted commands, pushing the others forward. They circled him like vultures, their hands on their weapons, their faces contorted with rage. It was clear they weren't just angry. They were determined to make this encounter unforgettable. André remained unnervingly calm, standing firm as the storm raged around him. His eyes, sharp and unwavering, scanned each biker, each movement, as he carefully calculated his next step. There was a quiet power in his stillness, an authority born of years in the military, a man who had faced much greater threats, far more dangerous situations than these bikers could ever imagine. But instead of responding to their aggression, instead of engaging with violence, he did something no one expected. Slowly, deliberately, he reached into his jacket pocket. The bikers watched, their eyes narrowing, as he pulled out his identification card and held it up for them to see. The card, with its official insignia, was like a bolt of lightning. In an instant, the tension shifted. The bikers froze, their mouths falling silent. The reality of the situation hit them like a cold wave. This wasn't just some random man they were harassing. This was the Chief of Army Staff, one of the highest-ranking officials in the military, a man whose authority could not be ignored. The leader of the group staggered back, his bravado evaporating in the face of the man before him. His mind raced, the realization of the consequences of their actions sinking in. What had started as a petty act of hatred was now a confrontation with someone they could never hope to match in power or resolve. The moment hung in the air, heavy with the weight of what had just transpired. The bikers were no longer in control, and though they stood there, stunned and speechless, the damage had already been done. This was a confrontation that would not be easily forgotten. Within moments, the authorities were contacted. The bikers were detained, their reckless actions now laid bare for the world to see. The chief, still composed, watched as justice was swiftly pursued. The bikers were held accountable for their actions, their misguided hatred now resulting in real consequences. This incident, though brief, served as a stark reminder. Hate has consequences, and those who perpetrate it will not escape unscathed. The message was clear: no one is above the law, and no one is immune from the repercussions of their hatred. This story, though anchored in one man's quiet strength, is so much more. It is a testament to the power of composure, courage, and accountability in the face of overwhelming adversity. Insert name or fictional placeholder. His calm response to violence didn't just diffuse a dangerous situation. It sent a powerful message that hate, no matter where it's directed, cannot go unchecked. But this isn't just about one man's resolve. It's about all of us. Our collective ability to stand up, to challenge hate wherever we see it, and to call for accountability in every corner of society. The question now is, what can you do to combat racism in your daily life? It starts with awareness, with education, and with taking action when it matters most. Small steps, when taken by many, can bring about change. As we reflect on this story, ask yourself, how can you make a difference today? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Together, we can amplify the voices that need to be heard and continue to fight for a future where hate has no place. Thank you for watching.